started. So we'll start in a seated position today, as almost always we do, but we'll do that today. I'm trying out, I was gifted one of these Yogi Toes mats over my mat. I've never used one, but I'm gonna try it out today. It helps with slipperiness. And my mat is kind of old, so it has gotten a little slippery. So if you're just joining, 2 blocks, a strap and a blanket, and find your seat on your mat. Sigh out a few times, welcome yourself in, let go of whatever you were involved in already this morning. Depending on your time zone, you might have been involved in more or less. And then sink your sitting bones down. So feel the lower part of your body. And we did a lot of movement in the hips. So if you're noticing that still, feel that. Lengthen the spine, shoulders drop away from the ears. Let's extend the arms and just reach them up and shake them out a little bit. Just move the body a little bit. So in addition to shaking your arms, let the whole body shake. Yeah. And then reach the arms up. So root down and get long. And then you can bring the hands down and let the hands fall wherever they feel comfortable falling. Sometimes it's nice to have the hands in the lap, one hand underneath the other with the thumbs touching. Maybe you extend the arms so that the wrists rest on the thighs. Just fall, let the arms fall where they fall in a way that feels comfortable. Eyes can close if that is available to you. Mouth can close if you can breathe in and out through the nose. Consciously turn your attention to the inner landscape. So there's always a lot going on around us. Maybe you just interacted with people in your home. Maybe you looked at the news. Maybe you went outside or walked the dog. Maybe you made your list of things to do today. Sigh out all of that. And then sigh 2 more times. Notice how each sigh might bring you to a place that is more present. And again, this tuning in to the inner landscape. So noticing thoughts, emotions, vibes, energies that are within you. Notice how the breath expands you, the inhalation fills you up, the exhalation softens you. Take tension, if you can, out of the chin and the jaw and the cheeks and the eyes and the forehead and the shoulders and the chest and the ribs and the belly and the hands and the feet. And as you invite tension to be released, feeling a sense of just being and well-being, right? Just being and well-being. Maybe you sense some aliveness or vibration that you are. Notice what feels important to acknowledge within you today, if anything. Notice if there is something that is more difficult to release, that takes a little more time or commitment to release. Maybe it doesn't, right? Sometimes some things are real sticky and we just have to acknowledge they're there. Maybe they have a message for us. Maybe they'll run their course. Maybe it's inviting us to look at something a little more deeply later. If you have an intention, you can affirm that. Let yourself know what that is. If you're just here, you just want to play it moment by moment, then let yourself know that too. Maybe it's too early to decide what that intention is for the day. Reach your arms up on your next inhalation. Let them float. Root your sitting bones down. Let your rib cage lift off your waist and climb an imaginary rope. Maybe you sigh as you do this. Really reach up. Yeah. Both arms reach up together. Palms find each other over the head. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms up. Stretch over to the left. Make your right side really heavy. Good. Lift yourself to the center. Stretch over to the right. Make the left side, lower body, really heavy. Good. Come back to the center. Turn your rib cage to the right. Let your right hand come behind you. Left hand to your right thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. Pull your shoulder blades together behind you. Reach up to the center. Turn to the left hand behind you, right hand to your left thigh, pressing the back fingertips into the mat, looking over the left shoulder and dropping the shoulders away from the ears and pulling your shoulder blades towards each other, hugging the ribs around you. And come back to the center. Palms come together, bring the hands to the heart. Let's vibrate the sound of Om one time. And as you know, you can vibrate it internally if that's an interesting way to do it for you, or you can belt it out. Just one Om. We'll inhale, exhale, and inhale to Om. Inhale deeply. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale for Om. Let your hands come down on either side of you and grab one of your blocks and place it flat on the mat in front of you between your feet. The more wide the block is, the more this might challenge you a bit. So you can have it the widest, the middle, or the thinnest. Press your feet into the block, lift your heart, and gently draw the upper body forward a little bit, just letting the hips feel this, right? And then a little bit of a butterfly flap of your wings, which would be your knees. Imagine yourself transforming into a butterfly. Good. Let them just kind of wave. You know, we did some pulsing on Tuesday, so a little more pulsing, just the knees bobbing up and down a little bit. And then stop that and press your feet into the block. And feel the inner leg light up. Maybe you draw forward just a little more. And then flap your knee wings. Yeah, good. Just let them go. So not real precise, not one per breath, just flapping. Good. And then pause, squeeze the block with the feet, lengthen a little more if you can. And then round forward if you'd like. Roll yourself up. Take the block away. Place your feet on the mat, hands to your thighs. And just do a few cat-cow, seated cat-cow stretches. So pressing your feet to the mat, holding your shins or your thighs, lift your heart. And then round back, lengthen your arms, belly pulls to the spine. Inhale, lift up. Feel yourself rolling on and off those sitting bones, round back. Good. Inhale, lift up. When you round back, try to each time feel more pressing back towards the space behind you. Inhale, lift up. Do about 3 more of these at your pace. And the next time you sit up, pause for a moment. Make sure your strap is going to be within reach when you lie down, and then lie down on your mat. And hug your knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. We're just going to do a little bit of a stretch on the mat before we get up and move. And then give yourself some kicks. Kick, 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 kick. Livening up the lower body. Good. Place your left foot on the mat. Take your strap around the right foot. One part of the strap in each hand. Shimmy the strap from the ball of the foot to the heel, putting the pressure that you want to on that foot. I'm putting a lot today. It feels really good. been walking a lot and my feet are a little bit tight. So you decide how you do this. Make sure you don't pull on any of your toes in particular. Take the strap away just to feel the energy and separate your toes. And then put the strap back right on the ball of the foot and pull your thigh in towards you. So you'll bend your elbows. In fact, you can slide your triceps down to the mat and push the foot into the strap. Push the strap into the foot until you feel it trembling. And then release that pulling down on the strap, lengthen the leg, pull it towards you. Take the strap in your right hand, lengthen your left leg, put your hand on your thigh and circle the right leg around 3 times in each direction. Make those circles as big as they can be. So really big circle with the heel, 3 in one direction, 3 in the other. Notice if you hear any clicking or anything in the hips or anything, sometimes there's some crunchiness. Good. And then come back to the center. Take the strap with both hands. Inhale here, flex the foot a little bit, lift the upper body, lift the lower leg, and take 3 breaths here. Try not to tense the shoulders. In fact, if you need to move the hands down on the strap, you can. Lower the left leg, lower the upper body, bend the right knee, hug it in. Place the right foot on the mat, draw the left knee and take the strap to the ball of the foot and shimmy. Shimmy, let your shoulders also bounce into the floor. Notice this foot probably feels a little different than the other foot. Give it some love. And then take the strap away, flex your foot. Put the strap back on, slide your arms down, bend your knee. So use the strap to pull that knee in towards you and push the foot into the strap without giving anything away. Let there be some trembling and let your shoulders relax. Let your face relax. Let the tremble happen. Don't worry about it. Sometimes there's trembling. Keep breathing through the trembling. And then lengthen your leg, pull it towards you, not overdoing it. Extend the right leg. Take your right hand, place it on your right thigh. Take the strap in your left hand and make those big as you can circles. So you're going to want that leg to cover as much area as it can. 3 in one direction and 3 in the other. Good. And then lift the leg right over you, draw it in towards you a little bit more. Take the strap in both hands without really tensing the shoulder. So pull the belly to the spine, engage the belly, lift your upper body, lift your lower leg, and hold here. Good. Face is just relaxed and the breath is flowing, even though there's a lot of things engaging and happening here. And then lower the leg, lower the upper body, bend the knee, take the strap away, hug the right knee in as well, rock a little bit side to side, and then curl up and rock forward and back, chin towards the throat. Good. Nice. And then come up, grab your strap again. My toes are on the mat. Grab your strap. You're just going to bring it underneath the balls of the feet again. Hold on. Great. So my hands are pretty close to my feet. Lift your feet off the mat and lengthen your legs into a boat. And this is really nice, right? Using the strap, you get that kind of feedback, the feet pushing away and the heart drawing back. Good. If you want to, you could separate the feet a little bit, see what that feels like. Yeah, good. And then release that. Come to your tabletop. Hands under the shoulders and the knees come under the hips. Spread your fingers wide. And walk your hands forward to the upper corners of the mat. Leave your tailbone or your hips right over your knees. Maybe even walk the knees back and drop the heart. So Anahatasana or heart pose. When you're in this posture, your forehead or nose or chin are on the mat. And then notice that the tailbone wants to really lift to the sky. Can you resist that a little bit and point it more behind you. So drop the tailbone down a little bit. So not just to the sky, but it pushes kind of back towards the wall behind you. And then let your heart soften a little more. 3 breaths. Relax your jaw. Strength in your arms. Good. And using that strength in your arms, lift yourself up. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Ooh. Tuck your toes under. Good. Lift your hips and lengthen back to downward facing dog. Pedal your feet, pedal them out. Rock your hips. Let your head just hang. So feeling into the down dog. And let's feel in particular, I want you to notice the backs of the legs today. What happens when the heels get really heavy and the head hangs and if you lock your knees out, bend your knees a little bit, head is just hanging. 3 breaths here. Look between the hands and walk the feet to the hands. Good. Lift up halfway. Fold forward. Good. If you're coming in and out, I hope you can stay. Maybe you're having a little bit of difficulty with the computer. Reach the arms up. Just do your best. Hands come into the heart. Step to the top of your mat. Reach the arms up and over your head. Lengthen the spine. Get as long as you can and fold forward. And when you fold forward, bring the weight towards the balls of the feet for a little bit. Separate your toes and widen them as much as you can. And then put your heels back down. And take your heels and move them like a 1/16 of an inch out to the outsides, each one of them, not much. And then imagine you could take your feet and pull your mat apart by pressing the pinky edges of the feet into the mat. Good. Keep your toes relaxed. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, press your feet into the mat, sweep the arms up and over your head. Nice. Hands come into the heart. Let's do that again. Reach the arms up. Fold forward. Separate your toes. Weight comes to the balls of the feet a little bit, then the heels. Lift your arches. So really feeling into the feet today. Press the ball of the big toe into the mat. Feel that. Ball of the pinky toe. Center the heel. Lift up halfway. Fold forward. See if you can bring your forehead closer to your legs, really rounding the back body. And then lift all the way up. Woo, hands come to your heart. All right, let's start to move a bit. Reach the arms up. Fold forward. Lift up halfway. Fold. Take the right foot back. Giant lunge. Bring the knee to the mat. Untuck the toes. From here, your hands can be on blocks or on your mat. Circle the hips. It's kind of an awkward circle, but circle the hips 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other. Just kind of loosen some things up. Good. Then come back to stillness and lengthen the left leg and pull the toes off the mat. Sometimes if you're feeling like it's a big strain to get to the mat, put your hands on blocks. Now thinking about this foot and feeling into this hip, you're going to draw the pinky edge of the foot to the mat, come back to the center, draw the big toe edge of the foot to the mat, come back to the center. Do that 2 more times on each side. See where you feel that. Let it come from that movement's from the hip, really. Out, up, and in. Good. And maybe you have more range in one direction than the other. That's fine. Hands on either side of the left foot. Tuck the right toes. Plant your hands. Left foot meets the right in your plank. Good. Come forward and back on the toes. Just push yourself forward. Press yourself back. Push yourself forward. Press yourself back. Come to the center. Knees can come down or stay up. Lower to or towards the mat. And then draw your elbows very close, lift up to cobra. Look straight ahead, back of the neck is long. Lower down. Tuck your toes, make your way back to down dog. I'm coming through plank and then dog. You might come through anything at all. Head hangs. 3 breaths here. see again if you can take the lower part of the mat apart, as if you're just really pressing the pinky edge of the feet away from each other. Look forward, look at your thumbs, take your right foot, bring it between the hands, take as many steps as you need, lower the left knee. Untuck the toes. Good. Circle the hips awkwardly around in one direction. Ooh. And then the other direction. Good. Nice. And then coming to the center, lengthen the right leg, move your hands back, flex your right foot. Pull the pinky edge of the foot towards you, yeah. And then bring the pinky edge of the foot out to the right. Come back to the center, drop the big toe edge of the foot in. Do that 2 more times on each side. Come out, forward, good. And come out, woo, forward, and in, very nice. Come back to the center, bend your right knee, tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee, bring your left foot to meet your right, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale to fold. Press your feet into the earth, reach the arms up, woo. Hands come into the heart. I'm going to turn to face you. You can stay just as you are. Standing here, take your right leg and cross it in front of your left leg. So squeeze the inner thighs together. This might cause you to bend your knees. Takes you off balance a little bit. And try to, again, put the full foot of each foot on the mat. Reach the arms up. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Bend your knees a little bit and fold forward. See if the weight's sinking into the heels. Bring it forward just a little bit. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Let your outer hips move away from each other. Lift up halfway. Fold forward. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come up. Feel your legs help you come up. Yep. Feet separated. Hands to the heart. Woo. Take your left foot, cross it in front of your right. Squeeze. Reach the arms up. Good. Arms come up. Fold forward. Yeah, good. Come down. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Outer hips move away from each other. Good. Lift up halfway and fold. Press your feet into the earth. Reach the arms all the way up. Ooh. Hands come into the heart. Feet step apart. Good. Step to the top of your mat. I'm going to step to the opposite top of my mat just for fun. Reach the arms up and over your head. Fold forward. Notice if anything is softening or resisting in the backs of the legs. Bend one knee here and then bend the other knee. Do that 2 more times. So you're rocking your hips as you bend the knees. Bend one knee. Bend. And good. Both legs as long as they can be without being locked. Lift your heart. Fold forward. Take your right foot, lunge it back. Oof. Plant your right hand. Lift your left arm. Good. Make a circle back with the left arm and then take it forward and do that 2 more times. Open up, nice, and really feeling that. And open up. Good. And then open up into this twist again. You can stay with that right knee lifted, or you can lower the right knee, lift the right toes up and reach back. See if you can reach your right ankle, open up, or just reach back towards that foot. If you're reaching your right foot, look at your left knee. If it's swinging way out to the left, try to bring it more in line with the hip. You'll feel that. Good. If you're holding your foot, release it. Hand on the outside of the left foot, lift the right knee. Left foot meets the right in plank. Roll forward and back. Woo. Always working on our strength. And then come to the center. Knees can come down or stay up. Lower down. Roll your shoulders, lift the heart. Maybe this time you come to upward facing dog. Lower down. Tuck the toes under. Come back to down dog, your way. Let out a sigh. Ah. 3 breaths here. Notice if there's any shakiness in the breath. Try to smooth it out. Look at your thumbs. Take the right foot between your hands. Keep the knee lifted at first, that back knee. Reach your right arm up. Good. And circle it around. Slowly feel the rotation of the shoulder. Good. Let your hand move in the direction that facilitates easy movement. And then lift that arm up. And you can stay here working in the twist. That might be a nice thing to do. Keep working on bringing your right knee towards the center. Otherwise, lower the left leg, untuck the toes. Bend the left knee if it bends away from the mat, or if it brings the foot away. Hold on, maybe, to your back leg. Make sure that right knee is not flaying out or swaying out or moving out. Couple more breaths here. Good. Gently release the left foot. Bring the right hand down. Lift your left knee. Let the left foot come in to meet the right. Nice and simple. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Press your feet into the earth. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Just notice how the legs are feeling with all of this attention, let's say. Thumbs to your heart. Take a breath or two more. Good. Bring your hands to your thighs. Let's just do 3 standing cat-cow. Sometimes the low back can get a little bit tired with some of this stuff. Round the back body, round the chin. Lengthen the spine. Good. You can put some weight with your hands on your thighs. Round here. And lengthen. And round. And lengthen. Stand up, reach up. Fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands. Right foot comes back, lower the knee right away this time. Bring your hands to the inside of the left foot and heel toe your left foot towards the left side of the mat. In fact, the edge of the foot can line up with the edge of the mat. You can untuck your right toes. And so just like we did on Tuesday, this is lizard. We're going to sink down. Maybe you come a little lower, maybe not. You can bring your blocks in front of you. You can put your forearms down. Good. This is a great place to really explore edge and not jumping over it, right? Make sure your breath can be even and steady. If it can't be, come back to where it can be. And then if you'd like, you can roll your pinky edge to the mat and send your left knee out to the left. Maybe you check in to see where you go with that. Good. And if you want, you can take your upper body and walk it over to the right. So the left knee's moving to the left. There's a big stretch in the mid body. Come back to the center. Heel toe your left foot. So it's in line with your left hip. Tuck your right toes under. Left foot meets the right. You come into your plank. Roll forward and back. Feel those feet getting stronger. Come to the center. Feel a lot of things getting stronger. Knees down, lower down. Roll the shoulders, lift your heart. So it could be cobra, up dog. Yeah, good. Look forward. Lower down. Come back to downward facing dog. Give this a few breaths here. Just lengthening in between. When we come to these down dogs, we're just lengthening. Head is hanging. Look between your hands. Take your right foot forward. Lower your left knee. Bring your hands to the inside of the right foot and heel toe your right foot over to the right. Notice how your breath is. Depending on how tight your hips are, the breath could be a little bit more labored or a little less labored. See where you go with this. Give it some time. Don't force anything, but also don't shy away from a bit of a challenge, right? Or a bit of discomfort. You'll know them, and you've been practicing long enough that you really can trust yourself. If you've proven to yourself that you're trustworthy, which you probably have by now. Good. If you'd like, you can roll onto the right side of the foot, open up the knee. See if my breath is starting to get a little deeper with this. And then if you want, you can take your upper body over to the left. And you're just drawing yourself in many different directions. The leg that's behind you is taking you back. One leg's taking you to the side. The arms are taking you to the other side. Come back to the center. Walk and heel toe your foot in. Woof. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the left knee. Let the left foot come forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Take each elbow in your opposite hand and sway your upper body side to side. Just swing it a bit. Give yourself some freedom here. Good. Fingertips down, lift your heart. Fold forward, press your feet into the mat, sweep the arms up and over your head. Hands come into the heart. Good. We're going to take just a little break here from doing what we've been doing with the thighs and come to face the short edge or the long edge of your mat and come into a straddle. Good. From here, spin your right toes to the long edge of the mat and come into warrior two. Good. Because we've been doing so many moon salutations, we've been doing a lot of triangles. We haven't done much warrior two. So I want you to sink down and come up. Sink down and come up. Good. Sink down and come up. Sink down and stay there. Reach the arms out. Take your back arm to the back leg. Take your front arm, turn it to face the sky. Lift it up by the ear and stretch yourself back. Good. Come back to the center. Take your hands behind you. Open your heart, interlace your fingers, and bring your right shoulder just inside the right knee. Let the head hang. Heels of the hands towards each other. Wiggle your toes. Press into the mat. Come up. Extend the arms. So lots of strength in that front leg. Come back to the center. Turn your toes in. Hands to your hips. 1 or 2 circles in each direction. Good. Spin your toes to the left toes, that is. Come down. Hands to the hips at first, right? We're going to come up and sink down. Come up and sink down. Feel that. Feel you're strong. Feel how strong your legs are. Sink down. Come up. This time we're going to stay and extend the arms. The ribs are hugging. You're breathing into the front and back of the body. Back leg is long but not locked. And then the back arm comes down. The front palm reaches up. And you lift up and over your head, sinking down a little more. Good. Come back to the center. Take your hands behind you. Whatever index finger you don't usually put on top of the clasp, put that one there. Open your heart and fold forward. Good. Nice. Press your feet into the mat. Lift yourself up. Extend your arms. Come back to the center. Turn your toes towards the long edge of the mat. Fold forward. And just don't see where you can go here. So the outer edges of the feet are parallel to one another. Inner thighs rolling back, head hanging. If you like to widen your feet and your crown of your head is fairly close to the mat, you can put the crown of the head on the mat. Good. Keep pushing your sitting bones back behind you. Good. Lift yourself up. Hands to your hips. Come all the way up. Woo. You can walk or hop your feet together. It's fun to hop. Yeah, good. Come to the top of your mat. Make sure your blocks are within your reach. Good. Stepping to the top of your mat. Reach your arms up. Fold forward. Woo. Take your feet back to downward facing dog. So we're bringing both feet together. Good. And then let's bring the knees down. Keep the toes tucked under and just send the hips to the heels and rock a little bit side to side. I just want a little massage to the backs of the legs. Actually, come up for a second. If you have a blanket, you're going to just kind of roll it up. Doesn't matter, just bunch it up. Put that on your thigh, on your calves, in between your thighs. Sit back on that and roll a little here. Just kind of little massage. All right. Walk in. I think that's enough. Bring yourself up. If you want to pad your knees, you can, because we'll be on the knees for a bit as we come into Hanumanasana. All right. Kneeling position, right foot forward. Sink down into that lunge. So find that lunge again. Yeah. And then stretch back. Ardha Hanumanasana. This is half of a split. Pull your toes back. When you're in this half of a split, you can stay with your hips lifted, or you can bring them down to your heel and see where you go with this. This could be very intense. If you want to extend out more, I'm going to start with my block under my thigh because I haven't been doing the splits much lately. You can bring your back knee back a little bit and start to extend both legs. Now, when you're doing this, so that you don't pull a hamstring, engage the inner thighs, pull them towards each other, lift the pelvic floor. So imagine with your pelvic floor muscles, you can pick yourself up. Root your right heel into the mat, softness to the right knee, but a lot of strength in that leg. Left thigh to the mat. And if you want to, you can reach your arms up and see what that feels like. For me, it didn't feel very good, so I'm putting my arms right back down. You can see how it feels on any given day. If you're very flexible, feel free to take the block away, but work on your stability by drawing those inner thighs towards each other. Give it about, let's give it 6 breaths. Why not? It's going to seem like a lot. Good. Relax your faces. You can do this, whatever it is that you're doing, right? Good. When you have 6 breaths, engage the belly. You're going to bring that front heel in, bring the back knee in a bit. Woof. Come into your lunge. Find that. Ooh. Bring your right knee in to meet your left. Pause for a moment. You can feel a difference, right? Side to side in the body. Circle the hips one direction and then the other. Maybe even just take little soft fists and just kind of hit the backs of your legs, your buttocks, whatever you can reach. Second side. Bring your left foot forward. Hands come down, sink forward. Woo. Feel what's going on in that right leg after bringing that forward in Hanumanasana. And then come back, flex your foot. Maybe you're lifted, maybe you come down. You're finding your expression, right? If this looks crazy to you to try to do this, then find your expression of what's not crazy to you, but still edgy, right? Today's a little bit of edgy practice when we get in the hips. Maybe your block comes for underneath your thigh and you can extend the front and back legs, squeezing the inner thighs together, lifting your heart, smiling at the thought of doing the splits here in the morning. Why not? Maybe you lift your arms up. See, on this side, I feel much more stable. So you just see what happens. Inhale and exhale for 6 more breaths. When you have those 6 breaths, you'll start to engage the belly. You'll pull the front heel in. It's hard to come out. You'll pull the back knee in. Oof. You'll lift up and come to a lifted kneeling position. Now it's over, right? So you're like, okay, was no big deal. Circle the hips one direction and the other. Good. Hands to your heart. Just pause for a moment. Feel all that's here. When we stir things up, this is a tight area of the body. So there's a lot of times there's things that are sticky in there and you might feel emotional energy. You might feel even some beliefs might come up. All kinds of things can happen. Be open to them. And then come onto your back. You can move all the props away. Hug your knees in and just rock a little bit side to side. Let your arms come out like little, just like a T, or you could bend the elbows so you're more like a saguaro cactus. And drop your knees to one side and come back to the center. And drop your knees to the other side. So the back is getting a bit of a massage. The shoulders that try to stay on the mat but might come off, get a little stretch. Just take this side to side. Woo. Time flies when you're doing the splits. Good. Maybe one more time, side to side. Hanumanasana is the name of that posture. Named for Hanuman, and you've seen in any of the kind of Indian art with the monkey that sometimes it looks like he's in the splits. And that's what we did. Hug the knees in, chin towards the throat, happy baby. Maybe go a little gentle on the happy baby. Maybe you let your knees be very bent today, even bringing the soles of the feet together. That'll probably feel pretty good. And extending the legs and having your little tantrum, baby. After the splits, it's good to have a tantrum, especially making sure you're hitting the backs of the legs, the heels, the calves. And then allowing yourself stillness here, shoulder blades away from the back, chin towards the throat, eyes closed. And just allowing yourself to relax, restore, and just breathe. You'll hear my voice in just a few moments.